The drama surrounding WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert's recent press conference wasn't just a routine league address. It was a public unraveling that exposed the widening cracks in leadership, trust, and accountability across women's basketball. What began as a rumor about a disrespectful remark toward Caitlin Clark spiraled into a full-blown crisis, leaving fans, players, and reporters wondering who was really telling the truth. When Engelbert walked onto the stage that day, the atmosphere inside the press room was electric with tension. Reporters weren't there for polite exchanges or PR soundbites. They wanted clarity. For weeks, social media had been buzzing with accusations that Engelbert had privately said players should thank their lucky stars for what she's done for them. A statement widely believed to be aimed at Clark. The alleged comment was seen as condescending, arrogant, and completely out of touch with a generation of athletes who had worked tirelessly to bring women's basketball into mainstream visibility. At first, Engelbert's delivery was calm and composed. She smiled, thanked the media, and began her usual speech about growth, unity, and collective progress. But the mask started to slip the moment a reporter from ESPN asked the one question she had been dreading. Or did you not make those remarks? The silence that followed was suffocating. Engelbert froze, the color drained from her face, and the room waited. What came next wasn't a confident denial. It was a defensive performance. "There's a lot of misinformation out there," she began, forcing a tense smile. "I have the utmost respect for Caitlin Clark. She's been transformational for this league." It was supposed to sound reassuring, but it only deepened the unease. The repetition of Clark's name, the overly scripted tone, it felt less like respect and more like strategy. The press could smell the evasion. A follow-up question came swiftly. "So, you're denying that you ever said it?" Engelbert's jaw tightened. "That's not accurate," she said, before launching into a tangent about media distortion and clickbait headlines. Her tone wavered. Her body language betrayed her. The woman once known for her poise now looked cornered. Within minutes, clips of the exchange began circulating online. Her shaky denials, her defensive posture, the way her voice cracked when she insisted she never said that, every second was dissected in real time. "She's lying," fans tweeted. "She's scared." Even those unfamiliar with the story could sense the panic. Her attempt to pivot the discussion toward family and emotions backfired spectacularly. "I'm human too," she said. "I have children who are devastated by these lies." But rather than humanizing her, it came across as manipulative, a desperate attempt to draw sympathy instead of accountability. By the end of the press conference, Engelbert had lost control of the narrative. She wasn't leading the league through controversy anymore. She was surviving it. Her insistence that everything was misinformation only fueled more suspicion. Fans began asking the obvious. If she didn't say it, why did she look so guilty denying it? That night, the backlash was swift. Sports outlets like ESPN and Fox Sports replayed the footage endlessly. Podcasts tore apart her responses, calling them corporate gibberish. On social media, players subtly began to weigh in. Sophie Cunningham reposted a comment that read, "Real leaders own their words," while others liked tweets demanding new leadership. The sentiment was clear. Engelbert's credibility was gone. Then came the spark that ignited a movement. Sophie Cunningham, known for her unfiltered honesty, gave a live interview that cut through all the noise. "If you're going to preach women's empowerment," she said calmly, "then act like it. Don't talk down to players who built this league." Her words were surgical, deliberate, and devastating. She didn't name Engelbert, but everyone knew who she was referring to. That single statement turned frustration into fury. Hashtags like "Twarn players over politics" and "Stand with Sophie" began trending. Fans weren't just angry about Engelbert's alleged remark anymore. They were angry at what she symbolized, an outdated, corporate hierarchy disconnected from the players who carried the sport. Clips of Cunningham's interview spread like wildfire. Her confidence stood in stark contrast to Engelbert's defensiveness. "This is leadership," one fan wrote under the viral clip. "Not the woman hiding behind excuses." Even former WNBA stars began commenting, praising Sophie for speaking truth to power. Within hours, Engelbert's image as a strong, composed commissioner had crumbled. The situation escalated again when whispers of a secret recording surfaced. A tweet from an anonymous account claimed that Nafessa Collier had proof of Engelbert's alleged comments, and that she had it on tape. No one could confirm it, but it didn't matter. The internet doesn't wait for evidence. It runs with the story. Within hours, "Drop the Tape" was trending across platforms. The rumor alone was enough to obliterate what little trust Engelbert still had. Every no comment from her office, every delayed statement, made her look more guilty. Cunningham poured more gasoline on the fire with a cryptic Instagram story. The truth always comes out, no matter how high up you are. It was all fans needed to believe the recording was real. Memes flooded social media. Engelbert sweating at the podium, overlaid with captions like, "When the tape drops." TikTok creators analyzed her body language frame by frame, while journalists began treating the scandal like an unfolding political drama. Body language experts pointed out her trembling hands, her darting eyes, her clipped breathing. "She's terrified of what's coming," one analyst said. Inside the league, panic was setting in. PR teams scrambled to regain control, but the story had escaped their reach. Even the NBA's Adam Silver was rumored to be monitoring the situation closely, concerned about how the WNBA's credibility was spiraling. Engelbert's refusal to address the recording rumors head-on only made things worse. Her silence had become the loudest sound in the room. Meanwhile, the players were no longer afraid to speak up. Sophie Cunningham continued to champion transparency, and fans began referring to her as the people's captain. Collier, the player who had allegedly recorded the conversation, stayed silent, but her silence spoke volumes. It felt strategic, as if she was waiting for the perfect moment to strike. By now, the conversation had evolved from whether Engelbert had made the comment to whether she even deserved to lead the league anymore. Her carefully crafted image of steady leadership had been replaced by the picture of a woman clinging to power while everything around her crumbled. Editorials called for her resignation, commentators questioned her moral fitness to lead, and fan petitions began circulating demanding new leadership. The most devastating blow came from within her own ranks. A leaked email, whether real or fabricated didn't matter, allegedly revealed league staffers expressing frustration over Engelbert's tone-deaf leadership and lack of accountability. It was the final crack in an already fractured foundation. The hashtag #FireEngelbert surged to the top of trending lists, uniting fans from every team under a single cause. They wanted change. By the end of the week, Engelbert's position was no longer about authority. It was about survival. Every appearance she made, every statement she issued was met with mockery and doubt. Her once commanding voice now trembled with insecurity. The commissioner who had preached unity was now the face of division. For Caitlin Clark, the player at the center of it all, silence became her greatest weapon. She didn't issue statements, didn't address the drama, but her actions spoke louder than words. When she quietly liked one of Sophie Cunningham's posts about accountability and leadership, fans went wild. It was solidarity, subtle but unmistakable.